Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Let me start off this video just by saying we did it. We did it. We finally got some change. That's right, voices of the fans have finally been heard by a big publisher like EA, who are now making changes to Star Wars Battlefront 2 in direct response to the feedback that they have been bombarded with over the past couple of weeks on Reddit, YouTube videos from various creators out there like Jim Sterling, Boogie2988, Jack Frags, myself, as well as I'm sure dozens of others, and they have finally responded. Just late last night, as the game was about to release in the UK, EA decided to completely pull microtransactions from Star Wars Battlefront 2. I went in there this morning and I checked myself, still on Origins Access. I'm still not buying this game because EA's intentions have already been quite clear as to what they are doing with this game, and also I'm just not a big fan of the multiplayer. But I still have about 5 hours left on my Origin Access, so I went in there this morning and checked it out. I had a couple of daily crates that they had kind of given me, but the ability to purchase crystals is now out of the game, which is their form of in-game currency that you can buy with real money. If you go and you try to click on it, it's all grayed out. You can't buy any loot crates with crystals at all right now. It's just all the in-game credits that you can earn through regular gameplay. So that's all good stuff. Apparently this all came as a result of a conversation between the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, and the CEO of EA, who had a conversation yesterday, and then a few hours later they ended up pulling all of the microtransactions from Battlefront 2. So that's a very good thing. Unfortunately, it does look like this is only going to be temporary, as in their own press release, EA has said that they will be bringing back the ability to purchase crystals at a later date, but they are going to be analyzing everything and, trying to fix it. But at least they've pulled it for now, and I really do hope that when they do come back, it's in a much more reasonable form and not in such a sort of predatory approach, which they have been using up until now in the early access of the game. In their official release, I'll go ahead and read a section of it. I won't read the whole thing, but I will link to this all down in the comments, in the description below, I should say. In here they say, as we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear that many of you feel there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages, and we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intention. Sorry we didn't get this right. We hear you loud and clear, so we're turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this, and they do say a couple more things in here, but as I said, I'll leave a link to that down in the description below. So that's a great thing that they are removing the microtransactions, at least for now, and they'll come back later date. Hopefully, maybe it'll just be cosmetic, which I don't have a major issue with. I mean, I know some people out there are very adamant about the fact that all microtransactions are bad and that $60 for a game, should be enough for the game, and I am in agreement with that in part, and I don't really buy into the whole microtransaction thing. I'm more of I'll purchase like expansions like the ones that came out for things like Skyrim or The Witcher 3. I'll buy big expansions and things like that. I'll even buy a season pass if it's a game that I really believe in and I want to support, like Rainbow Six Siege, who have not been greedy with microtransactions, which is crazy. I mean, EA should have known that something was wrong when Ubisoft is doing it better than you. Rainbow Six Siege and Assassin's Creed Origins both have their form of loot boxes, but neither one of them can be purchased with real-world currency. So that should just be a huge red flag to anyone at Electronic Arts when Ubisoft is actually being more responsible with their consumer base than you are. That should be a huge red flag. Let me know if you agree down in the comments below. But I still feel like this is going to leave a lot of bad blood out there with people, and wanting to support EA, because the microtransactions haven't been removed from all of their games. There's still ridiculous microtransactions in the new Need for Speed game. Those are still there. They haven't been touched. Why? Probably because they have not been, given as much negative feedback as, say, Battlefront 2, because it's on a much bigger stage with this particular game. But they are pretty much just as egregious in that game as well, with the unlocks and how it's all tied to like these cards and everything. And it's ridiculous, honestly, having to upgrade your vehicles with random chance cards, which are straight up gambling, just as it was in Battlefront 2. And just yesterday, before all of this happened, before they decided to pull the loot boxes, EA had put out a statement saying that loot boxes are not gambling, even though they really are gambling. They were defending just 24 hours ago that loot boxes are not gambling. Like explain to me how they're not gambling. You pay real money for them, and then you have a random chance to win a prize for a game. I mean, yes, you're not winning back real money, but you know that's seen in many other forms of like lotteries and other things where you can enter and pay for a chance to win a prize that isn't necessarily a monetary victory. So it is 100% gambling. That's the reason that part of the EU is investigating you for having gambling in your game and marketing that to children. So it is 100% gambling, and I still believe that adamantly, and I don't know why they continue to defend it as such. And I'm still not going to throw money behind EA because we know their intentions now. We know what they want to do. We know what they think of us as consumers and how they are putting their shareholders first and trying to keep that at the bottom line because they are a business after all at the end of the day. And I understand business. I understand that they have to make money, but there are right ways and wrong ways to do things. And we've seen in the past things that they have said about their consumers and what they actually think about us. Back in 2011, this had just came to my attention recently. There's a video, which I'll leave in the one-tab link with all of the sources for today's video. It was former EA CEO John Riccitiello back in 2011 in a meeting to the shareholders. This had been recorded and posted online, oddly enough with part of Star Wars Empire music in the background, which has never been more relevant than it is right now. This is some serious hindsight here. But in this video, I'll play you a short clip here.
And substantial portion of digital revenues are microtransactions. When you are 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your clip and we ask you for $1 to reload, you're really not very price sensitive at that point in time.
So there you can hear him talking about a player in a game like Battlefield playing the game and being invested in it with his time about 6 hours into the game, and all of a sudden he runs out of ammo, and he's talking about trying to charge that player for ammunition so that he could reload his weapon, and how that player is very likely not so sensitive to how much he's going to be spending on that ammo because he's invested in the game. He wants to keep playing the game, and if he can't continue with his progress without spending money, then he's going to do that, which is absolutely absurd. It's so egregious and ridiculous what he says in this video. And like I said, I'll link to the whole thing down below. It's all just completely disgusting to actually hear what these CEOs are thinking about us as consumers and how they just don't care about us in any way except for how much money we can actually put into their pockets. It's completely messed up. I definitely suggest you go and listen through that whole video to get an idea of what publishers and especially EA think of us as consumers. Now, thankfully, this guy is no longer at EA, but you can certainly see in the evidence with Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Need for Speed how this is very much still in practice and how they are still trying to make us payers and not players. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Please let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Do you think it's too far gone now for Star Wars Battlefront 2? Or is the fact that they've removed microtransactions for the time being enough to entice you to go out and pick up the game? I would say not. I would say certainly I would still, if you did want Battlefront, I would still say to wait until they do bring the microtransactions back and see in what form that is. See how it's manifesting itself down the road when they do reintroduce the microtransactions, because make no mistake, as EA said themselves, they will be coming back. You will be able to purchase the in-game crystals with real-world currency, so that will definitely be coming back. Microtransactions are not gone forever, but I think this could maybe be a step in the right direction, and I think it's still a victory for gamers as a whole, as I hope that this sends a message to the entire industry that when you do something like this, we won't stand up for it. We will speak with our wallets and not buy your game. Just the other day when this was all going on, so many people were requesting refunds that EA actually pulled the refund button from Origin. I am not kidding. The refund button that was usually there if you go look at your order summary, you'd just be able to click a button to request a refund, and it would pretty much be instant, just like on Steam. But they made it so that you would have to go through their actual customer support and wait in an over 60-minute queue to speak to an actual customer service representative and request a refund. So EA has just made so many PR missteps throughout this whole thing, not including the disastrous AMA that they did the other day where they just kept saying, oh, we'll keep looking at it and we'll, we're going to take all these softball questions and not really answer any of the hard ones. So EA is still not out of the woods with me. I'm still like, you know what, EA, no, you're not getting my money. I'm going to cancel my EA Origin Access probably in the next couple days here. I just wanted to make sure I had enough gameplay and everything for this video, and I wanted to get some shots of the microtransactions. But I'm pretty much going to cancel my EA Origin Access. I don't want to give them any more of my money because I know what they think of us, and we're just wallets to them. That's all we are, is walking wallets. So, yeah. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you do want to pick up any other games this holiday season and save yourself some money, hopefully not Star Wars Battlefront 2, I'll leave my affiliate link over to cdkeys.com down in the description below as well, where you can get some great games that don't have any loot boxes, like Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus for $35. And not a single loot box is in that game, believe it or not. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it down below and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll catch you guys next time. Tara, get this fucking hair out of my face. This is what I get for not using my lay right today. Where's my pomade? Babe! Babe, where's my pomade? I need my pomade! Okay.